that's how the whole world lives for the most part. So we're trying to change it. Problems are going to happen for sure. It's going to be
Well,
chaos.
this is true.
Everybody, we're going to take the Dr. Tess challenge.
What's the question you get asked most?
Like I could just show up and crush it.
I'm dreaming, oh, I believe in this dream I've been dreaming, oh, I'm dreaming, oh, I believe in this dream I've been dreaming, oh.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am great. How are you?
You're great. I'm not bad. I've got a cold, but other than that, I'm okay.
Oh no, a cold in Australia? I thought that didn't happen.
Yeah, summer cold. Oh no, we get these killer summer colds, and they just they're horrible. Anyway, I'm okay. I'm not dying. I'm all good.
Wow. All right. Well, it's the best.
That's the best.
You got your tea?
No, that's water.
Oh.
And that's coffee.
Okay. Dr. Tess and I do this once a month. And she changes my life and makes me a better human. That's the goal.
You're already a better human. Better human than what is what people would ask.
Than what I was last month.
How are you going? What's been going on?
This is our last talk before I go on tour.
It is too. When do you leave?
We leave January 16th.
Right.
We're recording this a week before Christmas. I don't know when it's actually going to come out because we're getting a little bit ahead because of Christmas and everything. So, yeah, I leave January 16th. I'm doing a quick stop in Whistler for a speaking event, but then that's not really connected to the tour. And then that's it. 3 months on the road.
That's big. Wow.
Yeah.
Will we still be talking while you're away?
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out the
dynamics.
I lose control over the next 3 months. I just hand over control to Nina and Sandra, and
and go with it.
I have actually, it was super fun. I was worried about it this year, I guess, when I did my tour the first time. I guess I have macro control in terms of like where we're going and like we're going to these cities in these days, but I wake up and I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You just turn up, do the thing.
Yeah, we're doing an event. I'm doing a podcast, doing an interview. We're doing a meeting. I got to call this person, got to call that person, send an email. It's like I have no control. Yeah. It was actually amazing. Yeah.
And there's a lot of trust involved too, isn't there? You know, like you have to. I know when I'm talking with my mentoring clients, and when they're at that stage of hiring their first staff member, and that question about how do I let go? How do I trust that things will get done? And you just have to. And deal with problems if they arise, rather than trying to predict doom everything.
When problems are going to happen for sure. It's going to be
chaos.
This
is true. Yeah. Stuff happens, and you just deal with it. You know, and sometimes stuff happens, and it's not that big a deal anyway. It's not as big a deal as you thought it would be.
I'm a great follower when I like the leader, and when I don't, I'm a terrible follower. I'll just go do my own thing.
Okay.
So Nina does a good job.
Yeah. I'm sure Nina does an awesome job.
Yeah, Nina does a great job. So it's easy to follow. It's like, okay, great, you take over. This is awesome. I'm just gonna show up and do my thing.
Right.
So we're live streaming for 8 to 12 hours a day. Every day.
Oh, I forgot about that too.
Yep.
That was really cool. That was actually really cool when you did that last time, when you did the test run. Are you going to use the same backpack?
Same getup. The only difference is going to be, we're not going to put most of them public on YouTube for everybody because it was hurting our channel. So it's going to be for members. So members, I think it's $5 a month they can pay to be a member of the channel. And then the members get access to the videos. But awesome. So live stream every day, 8 to 12 hours for whatever, 90 days.
That's really cool.
Yeah, really I'm pretty excited. So you get to basically see everything. I'll have to, I guess, like some things you won't be able to show, but and sometimes we'll lose connection, like driving between cities and stuff. But otherwise, yeah. So what do I need to prepare mentally, Dr. Tess, to make this the best tour of my life?
Well, I think Well, we've talked a lot about sleep, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing that's going to make or break your energy.
Really?
Do you feel like you've got that sorted out? Because it kind of went a little bit pear-shaped for a while, didn't it?
I don't think it went pear-shaped. No, I don't think it went
Well, weren't you
pear-shaped.
waking up at odd times and doing odd things? And
Yeah, but
or was
that's
that
always
just
going to
because you
be, that's like saying somebody eats a chocolate bar and they destroy their diet. That's a one-off. Like I have these like once every, I don't know, 10 days, maybe every 2 weeks. I'll wake up and
Mhm.
just be like, whoa, I gotta go do this thing. But
Okay.
that's not consistent. The
It's not a
difference is
consistent
I
problem.
was sleeping like 8 hours and still feeling a little bit tired when I woke up,
Yeah.
which prompted the sleep study. Because if I slept less than that, if I slept 6 hours, for example,
Mm.
like 2 nights in a row, I would get sick. And so I prevented the sickness by going and sleeping 8 hours. But
Yeah.
I felt that it was not normal and I didn't want to sleep 8 hours. So fix me. And the answer was no, Evan, you just need to sleep 9 hours instead. Great. So,
And so
yeah.
you were waking up with the sun. Are you still doing that?
Most days I wake up after the sun.
Mm.
Yeah. So I'm
And
getting
are you
like,
averaging 9 hours now?
yeah, sometimes more. It bothers me so much. It's really bad. I hate it so much.
But your
Yeah.
body needs it, and your
Yeah, it
brain
does.
needs
I
it.
know. Listen, I do it. I'm not giving up on hacking it. I feel like there's some guru
Mm,
meditation I should be doing or something.
mm,
Yoga nidra, something
nah.
yeah. Hey, yoga nidra, you're supposed to be able to get like in a 20-minute meditation, the equivalent of 4 hours of sleep or something. So anyway, I'm gonna keep hacking it, but until then,
All right.
I'm not gonna be crazy. Um,
Good. No, don't be crazy. No,
I don't.
that would
I
be
mean, we did the tour
pointless.
last year, and I didn't get sick. I didn't get sick at all. I mean,
You didn't get sick. You broke your neck.
Okay, but that's like I got injured, but I didn't get sick the whole time. We didn't get
No.
sick.
Yeah.
I think Nina and Danny both got sick once.
Mm.
I never got sick. Now we're going with Nina, Jeremy, and Ray Ray. So there's 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking in the elevator the other day that man, this is crazy. We're gonna go for 3 months. Like, who does this? And then I realized, wait, I did this. We've already done this.
That's right.
The one we did was further. We went from Toronto to San Diego and back. Now we're still driving a lot, but nowhere near as much. And it's a couple days shorter. And I'm, fingers crossed, not going to break my neck this time. So I got to think, what can I do to make it a level up instead of just.
Well, I think last time we talked, we did discuss, and you were a bit resistant to it then, so I'm guessing the answer is no. We did discuss
choke on my water.
Idea. We did discuss. It's interesting how you and I are both quite stubborn, but we did discuss the idea of having another chat with a dietitian to see if there was anything around your energy levels that could be tweaked with your diet. And you were a bit, and I'm guessing you forgot because you weren't really interested in pursuing the idea when we talked about it.
Yeah, I haven't done that because I guess in my head, I want the dietitian who like really understands what I'm going through. I have disrespect, I guess, for most dietitians. We talked about this, right? The chasm. Yep. Yeah, the chasm. Yep. There's a chasm between Dr. Tess and every other psychologist. We'll just pause for effect. Pause for effect. And then.
No, that's pause for me to put in the ethically obliged. No, there's not.
Chasm. And so I need to find the sleep version of that. Yeah.
Or the dietitian version of that. I think, the
dietitian version, yes.
Yeah, I think that was the only other thing. The only other thing that jumped to my mind around, sleep, exercise, diet. These are the key fundamentals that we talk about in terms of energy, and how much stress you're under. Then you put yourself under a lot of positive stress. Stress serves a purpose.
A lot of what stress?
Motivates us and positive.
Oh, positive stress. I put myself under positive stress. Okay.
So if you think about, positive stress is that pressure that we put ourselves under to achieve.
Okay.
So when we're energized by the stuff and we really want to get it done and we're getting frustrated because it's not getting done fast enough, that's stressful, but it's not stressful in the same way as not having enough money to pay your bills.
Sure.
They're two different types of stress.
Yeah.
But we do need to top the energy bucket up. So even though it's positive stress, it's still a drain on our resources. And so we need to top up that bucket of energy. And so sleep, diet, exercise, they're all ways of topping up that energy bucket. And so they're the things that we were kind of talking about last time. But I don't think that you will have any trouble absolutely squeezing every ounce of juice out of this tour. Like, I think you're fully primed.
So two things that come to mind, and maybe there's something here or not. The one is, as of today, I finally got under my weight from when I got back from my tour this year. So when I left on the tour this year, one of the issues that I had was whenever I travel, I would eat whatever and then come back and then it'd be fine, because you're only going for a couple of days and come back and you can recover. But this is 90 days. Like, if I ate whatever I wanted for 90 days, it'd be a whale by the time I got back. So I set my goal as I'm going to come back lighter than when I left. That goal got blown up when I broke my neck, because then I can't move, I can't exercise, eating whatever just to get rid of the headaches. But up until that point, I was under. So today I finally hit, like, I'm like just getting into, like, I can do 100 push-ups again, and I can, do that kind of stuff. So we just hit under the weight. So maybe I'll make that a goal, because I didn't accomplish it last time. That could be exciting. And then the other thing that comes to mind is I divide the last tour into like 3 chunks. The first one was the first month was just kind of getting used to what am I saying at the front and what am I going to do? And, I hadn't done that many workshops before. The second month became about, okay, I'm fine with, like, this is easy. I could photocopy this and have fun. But now it's fun, but it's not nervous or scary or anything at all. So I decided to go pure Q&A and abandon my speech format for 3 hours and just hope that there'd be questions for 3 hours. And then that became, less scary and easy. And then I broke my neck. And then the last month was just about surviving and going through the pain and all that stuff, right? So like 3 different challenges over 3 different months. And I'm trying to think, what's going to make this a challenge compared to what I know? Like, I could just go and since I got back, I've been doing a weekly seminar in Toronto. It's just like, it's easy. It's like I'm waking up and doing it. So how do I don't know. I got to think about how to make it more.
What ideas have you had about what would up the ante for you?
I don't know. This is the first time I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
I thought the live stream would be the thing, and it still might be. There still might be things like, oh, that was on camera. But we went through 4 days of it, and it was more fun than anything else. It wasn't really like, oh my God, I picked my nose, or I don't know, whatever silly things happen on the stream. And I've just been in front of the camera and done so many interviews, since coming back from the tour and everything. It just feels like you just get used to it. Yeah. So.
Well, I think the book is the challenge.
The book is the challenge? Okay.
The book, the message, are they actual copies?
No, kind of, not really. It's not. It's there are no copies.
Send me a copy for my birthday.
When's your birthday?
6th of January.
No,
of January.
Oh,
6th of January.
No, won't
6th
be ready.
Of January.
Won't be ready.
6th of January.
It won't be ready. It won't be ready. This is your one word. My first book.
Yeah, okay.
And then we wrapped it. We printed the same size and then we wrapped it. Like the back is blank and there's no side. Just to have something.
Yeah, right.
The book is actually due out like March something. So my publishers actually wanted me to delay the tour until March when it came up. It's like, I'm going. But it's the Built to Serve tour. Yep. And you don't have a book. Yep. I'm going. So whatever, we'll go. The mess, I don't know what I'm going to do in the workshops, to be honest. I haven't really thought about how I'm going to, it's 3 hours. I don't know how I'm going to structure the 3 hours. But the messaging around Built to Serve, I've been talking about it for the past year. Like it's not that difficult to come up with content for the workshop. I could just talk about Built to Serve, who I have, boom, 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 do some exercises, and then Q&A. I mean, that's how I see it. But
How many people do you expect in the room?
50 to 100, depending on the city, depending on the date.
Okay.
We'll probably be smarter with our marketing this time, and we learned a lot about event marketing last time. So the lowest we had was 25 in Albuquerque on Super Bowl Sunday, and the highest
That's
we had
pretty
was
good.
and it was great. I mean, it was fantastic. I like both. Like that was the lowest, and the highest was LA, where we had 100 something people, and both are great. Like I like the small groups. I like the bigger groups. One's a little more intimate and kind of family, and the other you don't get to talk to everybody, but it's different energy and vibe. So 50 to 100. We're kind of looking at rooms and stuff in that range.
So you've said before that the Q&A is your favorite bit. You know, because you're on the fly, you don't know what they're going to ask you, and that's where the inspiration comes, and that's where you end up, you know, staying too long and, you know, making it a later night than you planned and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah. I think, you know, with 100 people in the room, Q&A can be pretty interesting, and I think that's going to be different every night.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna
the exciting part.
Yeah. I'll start by giving some context, because not everybody will know who I am, or they've been brought by a friend, or somebody said you should go, and like, who's this guy? And so just to say, hey, what do you have? Feels like I need to warm up a little bit to say, hey, here's what I do, and here's the book, and thank you for coming, and here's what it means, and here's the messaging, just to kind of frame the evening a little bit. But yeah, like 20, 30 minutes of that, and then Q&A.
Nice.
I'm probably going to do some kind of, like, I like bringing people up to the front, bringing the people on stage and have them do something. That's always
So what
fun.
would you have them do? Is it like a mini mentoring, or, you know, I mean, what would you have them do when they're on stage?
It's like at some point you're going to get somebody who's afraid to do something, and then we're going to do it together. Right.
Yeah. Right.
So it was a woman who like has been wanting to make a video for 7 years and hasn't done it. Okay, come on up, bring your phone. We're going to make one together right now. And then you have to post, right? Like that kind of stuff. Or a guy who's, you know, wants to write his own song and hasn't done it for 10 years. It's like, you sit down and like, don't listen to me and just write lyrics, like write 8 lines of lyrics. And then he did it. And then I made him come up and sing it. That kind of stuff, right? There's always like people just don't have momentum. That's the biggest thing that they miss. So we create momentum. I might do some structured things. Like I might have some sharing to allow people to meet each other a little bit more. I like that because they're all from the city, even though I'm not. And most of them don't know each other. And so now here are some like-minded people in your city to connect with and learn from. And people from that ended up, you know, forming their own little mastermind or meetups or running clubs or, you know, so there's definitely something. I have to balance it, because at the beginning I did a lot of group work and I felt disconnected from the group. Like they were having all these emotional moments together and I'm at the front and I facilitated it, but like, what happened? Oh, what just happened there? I don't know. And I felt disconnected. So I selfishly want to be a part of the emotional moments and create it for everybody to witness and join in on. But I think a little bit of group activities or just introductions or something to do together will be good. But yeah, I don't know what the format's going to be, but I'm also not that, I'm not that scared about it. You know, like I'll figure it out.
I have to tell you about an ice breaking when I was an actor, and I went to a workshop years and years ago, and the workshop was in this style of theatre called bouffon, which is kind of grotesque form of theatre. And the instructor had us do an ice breaking exercise so we could, you know, get rid of all the boundaries and barriers between each other before we started. And the exercise, I'm not recommending you do this, the exercise where we all had to lie down on the floor on our back. And one by one, roll on top of the person next to you and introduce yourself.
Wow. This is the Dr. Tess challenge. Everybody, we're gonna take the Dr. Tess challenge.
Go for it. I want video footage. I want
It's
to be
being
tagged
live
in all
streamed
of
for
it.
8 to 12 hours a day.
I'm going to have to join your membership just so I can see it.
that expensive $5 a month to get on and watch.
Such a deal breaker.
Yeah, deal breaker right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So anything else goes, really, as long as there's no nudity.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know what I want to do. Last time I had them jump in circles. I had a bunch of other stuff, but I slowly left the activities to get to more Q&A. Because in the first month, there was like 20 minutes of Q&A and it was super rushed. And it was my fear that I wasn't
20 minutes isn't long. That's not long for Q&A. 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Because I spoke for so much, because I just talked, because I had content to get through. I had double the content that I had time for. And so I'm rushing through the content to get through, and people valued it. But I'm just talking as opposed to actually bouncing with them off of what they need help with.
I think it's interesting when you over prepare.
Yeah.
We've talked before about, being comfortable just speaking to a room of people. I think we're both in the same boat in that regard. And I've learned about myself the same thing. If I over prepare, then I've got too much and I feel the pressure to get through it all. Whereas if I go in and read the energy of the room, and obviously with 100 people, this is different, right? It's 100 people, you can't just walk in and see what people are bringing into the space for you to respond to that. But I don't know. It's a shame almost that you can't have Q&A at the start. People aren't warm enough, to have Q&A at the start. But you might have one or two people who want to kick the ball off with a couple of questions.
Yeah, I think just because of the fact that people won't know who I am. Some people don't know who I am. They've been referred, they found out about it, they saw a post or something, and they just don't have context. Just to frame it. There will be some hardcore fans, like, I've been watching you for 5 years, you changed my life, all that stuff is amazing. But for somebody who doesn't know me, who's just kind of coming for the first time, because Tess Crawley said you have to go see this person. I need to give a little bit of.
Oh, you're that guy who talks to Tess Crawley. Oh,
yeah. You're the guy. I see you all the time on her channel. Okay, you know what? I want to give you some credit on something, because
what happened?
I've been taking your. Well, there's lots of things, but I've been taking your. We talked about when the interviews that I do, not over preparing. I just find one thing that I want to pull the thread on, and then I just trust the rest is going to take over. I had a woman on. My guy is booking me with like all sorts of weird people, which is great. Just not my typical. If I had an entrepreneur, like, super easy. So I had a woman on who's the Millionaire Matchmaker. I don't know if you've seen that TV show.
No. Wow.
So she runs a matchmaking service for wealthy people, and then it became a TV show where she would be, coaching people and helping them find love. So, like, I've never heard of her, I've never seen this show, but it's me. I'm ignorant. Like, I don't watch TV, so I don't know.
No, same.
It's like she's super famous, but that makes me even more nervous. Like, she's super famous. She's been on all these shows, and now I'm interviewing her. It's like, I have no context, so let me learn. And I watched one little clip of her show where she basically is a psychologist for the millionaires, because she has to help them stop screwing themselves over, so that then they're ready to find love. They come in and say, find me a woman, or find me a man who can boom, 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 boom. It's like, okay, but you're broken. So, like, let's fix your mindset first. And
She has to teach them to be vulnerable, I'm guessing, is probably part of it.
Lots of different stuff, right? And so as soon as I saw that, like, okay, I can pull on that. Like, what's the mindset that entrepreneurs need to fix to find love? And like, once I found that out, I stopped researching her. Like, I got enough. Right. Instead of spending another hour, or I wouldn't spend that long, but still, like, more time. So that's Tess Crawley.
You're crediting me with, that's me.
No, because that's what we talked about, right? We talked about I
know.
Finding one thing and then being confident, not being totally underprepared and just winging it, but finding one thing and then leaving it to then go and do the next thing.
Yeah. And trusting. I think that's the thing, because you've got skills. So trusting in those is super important.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I was nervous last week because I had two back-to-back, two people who I'd never met before back-to-back. So there's no gap in between to prepare for even like 5 minutes to prepare for the next one. So I was like, okay, good, let's go. Anyway, so the side note. So for the tour, I don't know what to, like, I do a weekly event here in Toronto that ends up going for about an hour and a half.
Yep.
And then another half an hour at least of questions where it is just Q&A. It is just like I show up and people ask me questions every week. So we did it. Today's Friday recording this. We did it last night. And it's super easy. And there's still questions at the end. Like it could easily go twice as long and then boom, there's my workshop. Okay, bye, next city. So
what's the question you get asked most?
What's that? What's the question I get asked the most? It's either around like why I built the serve. It's either around like how do I find the thing that I want to do, which is the question I got asked the most on my last tour, which led to me writing the book while I was on the tour. Right? People don't know what's my passion, what's my purpose. It's not actually that hard to find. I don't know why. Like people think the advice is like you got to go meditate for 4 years or whatever. Like this, like it's not that hard. You can figure it out. It's actually not that difficult.
What I find fascinating about that is you've got people who are drawn to you. They know they want to be an entrepreneur. They know they want their own business. And I guess they're worried about choosing the wrong thing. And it's almost like they're looking for the right thing for them to do. In actual fact, like you're saying, they've got to follow their instincts. The instincts led them to you. Their instincts led them to wanting to be an entrepreneur. That's fascinating to me. That crossroads that they find themselves at. They've got themselves that far. They know that's what they want to do, but they don't know the niche.
Well, and that's why then like the biggest thing missing is just momentum, right? Like they're not doing enough. So that's why in the session, we try to get them to actually do something because one, it's a super supportive environment compared to where they're coming from typically in their, day-to-day husband, wife, not supporting them. So it's typically something around that, like just getting clarity on what they should be doing. Then definitely a momentum piece, like I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. And it's usually just some fear, to bust through. And then some people want to talk YouTube or thought leadership or, something specific. I like the weird questions. People ask a lot about scheduling and timing and procrastination, and like those ones are all super easy. It's just been asked so many times the same question, but I like it when there's something new that I haven't been like, let me think about that. I don't know.
What's the weirdest question? What's the weirdest question you've had?
What's the weirdest question? What did I get asked yesterday? I did all interviews yesterday. There was one guy who was like, oh man, I love your questions. I don't remember now. Anything? It's so hard to look back. I suck at looking back. I spend no time doing this.
You do, actually. Yeah, you do.
I do what? I look back?
No, you suck.
I suck at looking back. Yeah, it was just yesterday. Yeah. I don't even know why. I don't know. Yesterday, it feels like it was last year, yesterday.
Yeah. No, that's
but
hey, though, speaking of that, I just had dawn on me yesterday. How much has happened this year, and a lot of people are feeling this. I don't know if you're feeling the same way, but a lot of people are feeling that there's so much happened in 2019 that feels like it happened so long ago. Like I can't believe it was only this year that I was in New York. Like that seems like it was 2 years ago. Like so much has happened.
It's like a decade ago.
Has that? Yeah, right. Yeah, this year has been huge for a lot of people in a really good way. I think the last year was a bit hard for people. This year there's been a lot of big momentum for a lot of people. Because your tour, all that stuff, just this year. So much happening. Do you feel that? Do you feel like it's been a big year for you? Do you feel like you've achieved a lot this year? I know you never feel like you've achieved enough, but do you feel like you've been...
Oh, but I also feel like I achieved a ton, right? But every day, like today I crushed it. Yeah. You know what? Here's a concept that came up yesterday, a new one that I really liked that came out of talking to people was to cheer for yourself like you would cheer for your favorite sports team.
I actually saw that somewhere. Did you post something on that?
I put it to Instagram.
Did you? I saw it.
Yeah. I really like that. And so I put on a hat of like the Toronto Raptors basketball team. They won the world champions. They won the championship last year. And like people lose their mind. How about you cheer for yourself that way? Right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a champion. I'm amazing. I rock, right? So
Yeah.
that's a cool concept I'm probably going to use every now and then that came out of
Yeah.
talks. I like it when every now and then when somebody asks me something different, it leads to a new insight that then can be like shared for more people. So yeah, that was a
I
good
love
one.
that. I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
so I feel like it's going to be super easy. So I don't like that. I mean, it'll be impactful. It's going to be amazing. People will love it. We'll take pictures. Like, we're going to make people
What is it that you're
cry.
not trusting? It sounds like you're not trusting something.
I'm not trusting something? Wow, I
Mm.
would have thought the opposite. I'm just so trusting in my abilities that
Well, you
I'm going
said
to
it's
crush
going to
it.
be super easy. It's going to be
Yeah.
super easy, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
So it feels like you're not trusting something. You're not trusting, I don't know, that it will be as easy as you think it is, or you're not trusting that it'll be good enough, or you're not trusting that you'll be too blasé. I mean, what is it that you are not trusting there?
No, I feel like it's not challenging enough personally for me. Like, I want to have something that I'm a little afraid to do. I feel like with all the practice that I've had on the last tour and every week this year and all the interviews and everything, like, I could just show up and crush it. Like, it's easy. It's an easy message. I've been doing it for so often this year. I could just show up. Like, there's things that that you've done that you could just show up and absolutely crush it. Right. That's where I'm at and beyond. And it's going to be life-changing. People say it's like the best event they had all year. And it's going to be, not everybody, but it's going to be amazing. But it's the best part of me. I love it. But I also don't have to try, which bothers me. Like, I want to try for something. I want to try for something that's going to be,
So why are you doing it?
Because it's the best of me. I love it. I love it. Like, Thursdays, my public facing day when I do interviews all day long. And then when I go do my workshop in Toronto, it's amazing. Like, you see hope in people's eyes. Like, it's a direct, I mean, I do it with my videos, but it's 300 million views is what is that? I don't know what that is, but I can see somebody right in front of me. And then they come up and they say this woman last night brought the book and it's all torn up. It's like, this book changed my life. And it's all like, I need you to know how much it's like, I appreciate it. I love it. It's like, she had to tell me. And that's amazing. Like, that one-on-one is amazing. And knowing that you're dropping hope in people and that they see potential. That's the best part of me. Like, I don't know how to turn that into more. Like, I could do that. I could do that all day long.
You.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So it's not the same though as something that's easy that doesn't energize you. So something that's easy and is boring.
Oh, it's not boring. No, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's not boring. No,
maybe
it's not boring.
Maybe that's just the challenge, is to be present with it and just let it happen.
But that's easy. I could be present. I'm present now. Like, present is easy for me. And let it happen is easy. And being there and serving and spending 5 hours there or however long you can be there answering questions is easy. Last year,
why does it have to be hard?
Because I like hard things. I like a challenge. I like that we hit all these cities. We haven't hit these cities before, but we've hit more cities last time. Like, I like to have something that's going to be difficult. The live stream maybe, but live stream. It's ambitious, but it doesn't feel difficult.
Okay.
At the start it did, with like, oh, I'm doing push-ups and I can only do 4 or whatever, and people are going to judge me. But then it's okay, whatever, I'll be okay. So I don't know what the next thing is.
The next level challenge. Because you've done the whole, just woke up challenge, and I saw your Instagram where you and Nina were talking about how it's not a challenge anymore. And Nina said, "What's the next challenge?"
Yeah, I know, right? I love Nina. That's why we love her. Actually, it wasn't a challenge for a while. Like, even from the beginning, it wasn't. Maybe even from the first day, I don't think it was actually a challenge. It was more inspiring, hopefully, for other people, just to see the other side. But then it just, I don't know, I grew out of it. Like, okay. and then I stop.
Yeah.
That's how I am. Like if I don't like it, I'm done.
Yeah, it is not difficult. Okay, so I guess maybe each city will present its own challenge, and you just have to wait, see what it is.
Oh, wait.
Maybe that's what you don't like. Yeah, that's what you don't like. It's that
Of
whole be
course, I hate
patient
waiting.
thing.
What? Of course, I hate
Oh
waiting.
man, God, you're so spoiled.
I am spoiled. Of course. What kind of problem is this
Good.
to have?
Not a bad problem to have. So yeah, maybe that's the challenge. Just be patient and see what comes. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it's the lack of direction or the lack of a focus.
I don't believe that for a minute. It's really focused. It's all organized. You know exactly what you're doing. You know what you're going to be talking about.
Oh yeah. Sorry, not that. I meant more like when I decided to go Q&A, it actually took me 3 cities to get to Q&A. It took me 3 cities to get to Q&A. And I was talking about it on my Instagram Live, remember, and there's a woman in Sacramento who says, come to Sacramento and do Q&A here and I'll support you. And I just love I love like that she said that. And then I ended up doing it the next day in LA before we even went to Sacramento. But I'm also pissed that I was thinking about it for 3 cities and it took till the 3rd city to do it. And I hedged, like I kind of did a little bit more Q&A each time instead of just going straight Q&A. And I like that. I like that there was the growth in that moment, that I was hesitant and finding reasons why I couldn't do it, but kind of knowing that I should, and then jumping the gun and finally doing it. And then breaking my neck again, like deciding to stay when everybody said go home and not even knowing if I'd be able to do it or not. Like that's what I'm talking about, right? So I mean, we could find stuff and look and wait and see, but I don't like that stuff. I can be very patient, but not having the clarity to say, here's what I want to go off and attack as like the next big thing. That's the frustrating part.
Have you got some downtime coming up?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I could. Why? You want me to just sit? No, I mean, like, okay, so.
Well, it's Christmas next week. Like, do you have a break? Are you going away? Have you got time to just be? Or are you working all the way through?
No. I'm not. But I'm not working all the way through at all. I have my son coming. We have him for 2.5 weeks. I'm shutting almost everything down the whole time. I have 1 day a week during those 2.5 where I'm making videos, and he's gonna spend time with his grandparents because they want to see him and go around all that stuff. But when I'm with him, it's like I live a pretty intentional life, right? So downtime would be intentional somewhere. There's no like I'm just sitting on the couch and doing whatever, right? So I'm not working.
How does inspiration come to you then? Because I find this time of year, people have been go all year. They've got a whole bunch of plans, got a whole bunch of ideas, and then they need that dust settling. I call it dust settling time, where you are. I mean, I guess in Australia it's different. It's summer here. So this is our time when we have our big holidays and we sit by the beach with a book and all of that sort of stuff. And this is the time when ideas start to coalesce, things start to take shape. And I think in the Southern Hemisphere, because it's summer and we have our big break, the whole thing of transition from one year to the next is more meaningful because we do have that really big pause button where we just sit and let those ideas flow. And in fact, I've instructed all my mentoring clients, I want you to allow some time for the dust to settle, because the next stage is where, ideas will start to pop up. All the work we've done up until now will start to take shape, and then you'll get some inspiration happening, and then you've got to act on that. So that's why I asked if you had some downtime, because I think maybe that's where that big challenge will come to the fore.
I mean, I think it's actually pretty similar here in North America. People work like crazy and then they're planning their New Year's resolution and and taking time off, whether they go on the vacation to Mexico or just stay here and do family stuff. It's very, I'm the weird duck, not the, I think, you know, the continents are pretty close to each other in terms of taking downtime around this. I get inspiration from everything, right? I mean, I get ideas in the shower, I get ideas in the elevator, I get ideas talking to you, I get ideas, and then we do it, right? Like idea to action right away. So I don't know what's in the, like, I just got a new, so I went down this crazy exercise recently. I'm looking at rebranding my whole company because,
really?
Yeah. Not like a major rebrand. It's still the airplane, but slightly different, but better, just increasing the quality of the branding. Even though it's pretty strong, just making it better, like next step up. How did this happen? Well, Jeremy, the guy who's driving us around town or across the US, is under 25. You can't rent a car that's any size. Like you can rent a little compact car, but you can't rent a Suburban or a Cadillac or anything for if you're under 25, even as a secondary driver. So it means like I would have to drive it, right?
Yeah, right.
So then the option became, well, we're gonna upgrade our car to be able to go across, right? So so it's my car, and then he's driving it because our car was decent enough, but it's like a mini SUV, not like a SUV. So we go to the Porsche dealership and we say, we want to get a Cayenne, but we're now crunched on the timeline because I want a custom Cayenne. I want the red seat belts and I want the, you know, color exterior. And the problem with the Cayenne is the freaking red doesn't match all the other Porsche reds. This is first world problems, but every Porsche, you can get a beautiful red. I had the Macan, beautiful red. I love it. I still love that car. I wouldn't change the car if it wasn't for Jeremy. But the Cayenne is this like burgundy. Like, I don't want the burgundy. And so I was really frustrated and stuck on this. Again, like, don't cry me a river over like what Porsche to buy. I get it, but it's still what I'm struggling with, right? The mental exercise. So, but then I discovered, like, wait a minute. We can wrap the car, right? You can wrap the car. And then, but then if you're wrapping a car, you can make it anything you want, right? So we went to the dealership and he said, I don't care what color car. I just want the red seat belts and I want the headrest to have the logo in it, and then whatever car. So I got a white car, and now we're going to go wrap it. But then the thing becomes, well, now that there's so many options, what's the Believe Mobile look like?
I was going to say, it's the Believe Mobile.
What's the Believe Mobile? So then went down this road of how do I make, like, the exercise I went through is, if Porsche hired Evan Carmichael to design an exterior of a car, what it would look like, right? Like, you know, Ferrari and Puma have their shoes, and, you know, there's lots of crossover. This BMW has their own, you know, wallets and all that kind of stuff. So if Porsche hired Evan Carmichael to design the exterior of a Cayenne, what would it look like? That's like the mindset, right? So then we started creating it, and I tried to figure out, how do I make my logo fit on the car's logo, on the car somewhere. And Ferrari, if you look at their logo, they have it above the wheel on the side, not just on the front. So I'm going to put my logo inside a crest where the Ferrari thing would be, and we're going to make it the gold color, and we're going to put like words underneath. But I had to change my logo to make that crest thing work. And then I look at the logo and I'm like, wow, I like how this logo, like, is a little more, this is a little wide. It's like a little more square. We should rebrand the whole company. And now I'm going through this branding exercise of, like, because Evan Carmichael, the logo is so long. So like, how do we make it happen? And then I start diving down all these different brands, and the best one we came up with was Nike, where there's the name Nike, there's the logo, which is the swoosh, and then there's the statement, which is just do it. So I'm Evan Carmichael, I have my airplane and Believe. Most brands aren't clear on all those, right? Like, pick any other brand, they probably have a name and they have a logo, but what do they stand for? it's not as clear as Nike would just do it.
Mm.
So that's like that's been an obsession for the past 2 weeks. But it all started because Jeremy can't drive my car and we can't rent a car to go across the US, right? And now we're rebranding
Jeremy's
the whole
fault
business.
that you have to rebrand the whole business.
Yeah, but
you know,
but
in
like
yeah, I was just gonna say, in my building, in the underground garage in my building, there is, I believe, yellow Lamborghini.
What do you mean? Is it?
I'll have
Does
to
it say
do it.
believe in it?
No,
Oh,
not
okay.
yet.
Okay, not yet.
It's
I like that.
yellow, not yet.
I almost got the
I'll have to
Uros. The only two SUVs that I like, and now we're diving super into like first world problems. This is ridiculous, but the only two SUVs that I like are the
Come and listen
Cayenne.
to us talk, and we'll talk about cars.
I know nothing about cars. I just care about the design and how they look, right? Engines and horsepower and anything. I don't know what that. I don't know.
No,
I know zero.
No.
I like the Cayenne, and then the Lamborghini has an SUV called the Uros.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Look it up. The Uros Lamborghini is pretty fire. Nina doesn't like it. I love it. Ferrari's SUV sucks. Like all of the other ones, I don't like it personally. I like Ferrari's amazing. Just I don't like it. But if I'm going to spend $400,000 on a car to drive across the US, I'm driving it. Jeremy's not touching that car.
Right.
Right. So anyway, forget that. We went with the Porsche. But all of this stemmed from where does your creativity come from, or how do you get ideas, right? It's like everywhere. Like where did the idea to rebrand my company come from? From Jeremy, who can't rent a car, right? Like this is where it comes from. So I'm just constantly trying to pay attention to things and see where it leads, but I don't know.
Well, that's the whole point, and that's the whole point of being patient. See where it leads.
Yeah, and being like impatient at the same time.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah. Because the impatience. Yeah, the impatience is healthy for you because it pushes you from idea to action. You're almost ready for action before you've had the idea, and I think that's where you are now.
Okay.
You're ready for action. You haven't had the idea yet.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's in general. I think that's healthy.
Yeah, that's just you. That's you in a nutshell.
Oh, is it? I think that's healthy. I mean, I guess that's me in a nutshell. Yeah.
It's healthy. It's healthy for an entrepreneur. It's super healthy, right?
You don't think it's healthy for everybody to, as soon as you get an idea, to just try it and see?
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, especially for entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Especially for entrepreneurs, right? You know, you're constantly poised and ready for the next thing. You know?
Did we have the regret? Did we have the regret conversation?
I don't know.
And like idea to action and regret?
We've talked about regret. But I don't know what the regret conversation is.
If we've talked about it, then you can stop me. But like for like the first 8 years of me doing this kind of stuff, I would always talk about regret and how regret fueled me. Like the fear of regret fueled me. Like why I did my business instead of taking a job is because I would regret not trying. And I'd rather know and fail than not know. And so I would use future regret as a jolt forward to say, like, I don't want to regret this. I would tell myself, like, if I was afraid to talk to you before getting on a call, I would say, this talk with Tess is going to be life-changing. And if I don't do it, I'm going to hate my life forever. Like that's would be the internal dialogue. And so it would create a bigger fear of missing out that would force me to overcome the current short-term fear.
Yep.
And I was doing a podcast with Mark. That was like the rule that I live by. And he asked me to talk about it. I realized I haven't talked about that in like 2 years. Because it's not actually how I run my life anymore.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I get an idea, I just do it. And if you're always going idea to action, you have no regrets. So like that's how you eliminate regret. You just always jump. You always go.
Yeah.
I think that's wild.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think, you know, I mean, there's too many flavors of fear that stop people from taking action, and it breaks my heart when I see it. You know, I can just, you know, people who've got great ideas and great plans, and they're just stuck. And, you know, that motivates me to just, you know, get my little crowbar out there and lever that loose. I think back to some of the big business risks I've taken over the years, and I think for me it was that a little bit of proving myself courageous, saying, okay, I'm not scared of this. It's a similar sort of thing. I'm not scared of this. I'm going to do this crazy big thing, and what's the worst can happen? Yeah, so proving myself courageous was a big early thing, and I don't like you, don't feel the same need to do that now, but it's morphed into something else. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, but I agree with you. Regret's a killer. Regret is awful. Having missed out on things is terrible. Having missed out on things because it wasn't for you, or because it wasn't the right time, or whatever, that's one thing. But missing out on something because you didn't take action, and it's on you that you didn't, and that's why you've missed out, that's a killer. That's just awful. Yeah. So, all those people who say, oh, I had this idea, if only I'd patented that idea, I had that idea.
This is all I meet. This is everybody's going to come to my workshops for the next 3 months.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, this is the world I live in. It's everybody, every day.
The whole world.
It's the whole world.
It is the whole world.
It really is the whole world. That's how the whole world lives for the most part. So we're trying to change it. That's why it's the world's biggest problem.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. People not living up to their potential. No, I totally get that. Totally get that. Doesn't matter where you are. There's, yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, so tour's coming up. What is this is the last time I'm talking to Tess before I start. I'm gonna have Tess ears, it's voice in my ears, talking to me while I'm on the road or about to walk into my first, event. What do I need to pay attention to, remind myself of, according to Dr. Tess, the legend, the chasm, Tess, the chasm Tess.
I'm not a chasm. Could you rephrase that? Oh my God, now I'm going to lose the plot. Okay. Well, I was going to say something intelligent.
Okay.
I think I was going to say something like, be patient and trust.
Okay, trust I'm going to find something.
Trust your muse. The whole thing about muses. I love this concept. The what's it called? Conservatorium of Music in Tasmania, in Hobart, has, on the outside, they're actually leaving this building for a new building, so I'm a bit sad about this, but there's a mosaic on the outside of the building, which I've driven past every day for the last 25 years while I've lived in Hobart. Obviously now I'm in Melbourne. And I used to think it was the life cycle. I used to think that it was a pregnant woman and then she was getting, or a baby and growing bigger and becoming a woman. And I thought it was the life cycle of a woman. And for the first time in 25 years the other day, I realized that it's the muses. It's the 12 muses, from mythology. And I love the idea of these women that were, they each have a different way of inspiring you, and you've just got to hear their message. And that internal thing of the patience and the quietness and the stillness, so you can hear when your specific muse is talking to you. I think that's what I'm really talking about when I talk about dust settling time, is finding some moments of stillness so that you can hear the muse speak to you. That's where the next challenge will come from, and that's where the magic will come from while you're on your tour. Apart from the magic of, the work that you'll do, you'll change lives. What a privilege, hey? That's pretty amazing.
Right? Yeah, I know it is. But it's also like responsibility to up the game and do more and reach more people, and right? Which is the pressure, right? It's like, this is great. And I got homework for myself. I don't know the story of the 12 muses, so I'm going to look them up. I'm going to watch a video. I'm
pretty sure it's 12. Do you know where I first heard about the muses? You'll love this story. When I watched Xanadu when I was a kid.
What is that, a movie?
Oh my God, Evan Carmichael. That's your
I'm
homework.
ignorant. I don't know anything. What does Xanadu?
With
It's
me,
a
mum.
movie. It's a movie. You said watched it, so it's a
a
movie
musical.
or it's a musical?
It's a musical.
Oh my God, I
Olivia
haven't seen a single
Newton-John.
musical.
Wait. Olivia Newton-John and Gene Kelly. It's a 1980s musical. I think it might even be 1979, 1980. And there's roller skating. And it was also the first LP record I ever bought was the Xanadu soundtrack.
Wow.
Anyway, I know, right?
When I go to a musical,
I am so cool. I'm so cool. Yeah. Olivia Newton-John plays one of the muses. That's why I heard. That's how I heard about them. But yeah, you need to just. But there's they all have a different purpose. They all have a different responsibility. One's literature, one's art, one's music, and so on. I think there's 12. Maybe there's not 12.
Whatever, that's fine. Yeah. When I go to a musical, I have to force myself to pay attention to the artistry. It's like if I go to a museum, the people who can go to an art gallery and look at one painting for an hour, I can't do that. I'm so bored at a musical that I have to pay attention to wow, an entrepreneur made those costumes and look at the detail they put on those costumes. And somebody wrote this script and wow, I have to put my mind there because I'm bored out of my face at musicals. But I respect the art. Yeah. But even dancing, if I don't when I go dancing, even at my studio now, I pick the first 10 songs and I'm there with Nina. We dance to the first 10 because they're my songs. Yeah, I love these songs. But other music, it's no, oh my gosh, this song is so brutal. I don't like it. Yeah.
Well, I'm taking Roy to the Chicago musical here in Melbourne on Boxing Day. Okay. So we'll enjoy it twice so that, we'll just pretend that we're enjoying it for you as well.
Okay. I'm happy not to be there.
That's my Christmas present for you.
So I'm going to look at how many muses there were and what you're going to love this. You're going to hate this so much.
I'm so going to love this.
You're going to hate this so much. I'm going to look at how many there were. So good. I'm so excited. I'm about to say this.
And you're going to watch Xanadu.
No. There's no way I'm watching Xanadu. I'm so excited that I thought this and I'm going to say it because it's going to bother you so much. I'm going to find out how many muses there were. I'm going to, whatever, 10, and they each represent something else, right? Right? Yeah. One represents curiosity and one represents, I'm just making stuff up, but that's the idea, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to find out how many there are. And then as I find them out, I'm going to force myself to think of something around each of those areas. Right? Isn't that the best idea ever? She's so upset.
You're going to force yourself?
I know, exactly. I use that word with so much intention. It's the best.
I hate it so much.
I know. Right? I knew you were going to hate it.
I
foresaw it. I was so excited. I was bubbling with excitement as I had to delay the gratification so much for myself. So much. Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you know what? I am now going to tag you daily in my not boring Instagram stories with Xanadu gifts.
Yeah, you're getting better. Hey, but
I was already better. I just dropped the ball. Yeah.
The forcing myself is not that far off from the questions that you gave me. You gave me those questions before that I took on an airplane and said answer these questions. It's the same thing. Yeah. I'm going to watch the movie, not Xanadu. I'm going to watch the whatever video about the 12 muses.
I'm going to make you watch Xanadu. I'm going to find a way that you have to watch Xanadu.
It's not happening.
I'm so going to make this happen.
This is not a good use of time.
It's not going to happen.
And then I'm going to go and say for each one, what did I learn and how can I think of an idea around this? Yeah. I like it. I have homework. Oh, I'm so excited. This is it. This is amazing. I feel like something great's going to come from the muse. The muse might be the whole thing.
Yeah.
I could see me going all in on the 12 muses or however many there are. Watch there be 4 or something. Yeah.
I'm going to Google it right now. I need to know the answer. I need to be able to say the answer aloud right now. Because I think, you hear a lot about artists who have a muse.
Yeah.
And
there's 9 muses.
That's usually,
there's 9.
There's 9.
Oh, but that's all around. No, wait, this is what? Hold on. Have you seen what the muses are about? No, I can't test. This is not helpful. I got so excited that I looked up what they are.
What?
There's the muse. Calliope is the muse of epic poetry. Cleo was the muse of history.
Calliope.
Okay, whatever.
Calliope.
Calliope.
Not
Erato was the muse of love poetry. Epic poetry and love poetry are different. Okay, hold on. We just need to switch this. I hated it, but now I love it. It's not poetry that's the difference. It's epic. Calliope is the epic muse. We have to think about epic things, not poetry. See, that's where it gets messed up. Okay. So it's epic things, history.
like the epic journeys, like Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
They just epic stuff,
It's because at the time it's all about poetry and music. Yeah, love poetry, music, tragedy, sacred poetry, dance, comedy, and astronomy. Wow, what are we gonna do with astronomy? Okay, I like it. We'll figure it out. We'll get there.
You're gonna look at the stars and wait for inspiration to strike. You need to silence yourself, not force yourself.
I know. I said that on purpose.
You need to force yourself to silence yourself. There you go. I know.
I said that on purpose, Tess.
I know you did.
I knew it would drive you nuts.
I know you did.
All right. Okay, I like this. Okay.
Mind you.
What?
Mind you, I have probably spoken daily, either with my children or with my mentoring clients, about how hashtag Evan Carmichael said my Instagram stories are boring. And I actually probably really owe you. This is me giving you credit.
Okay.
But that boot up the ass to actually pick the ball up again.
Yeah, let's go.
Be a bit more focused.
I mean, I looked at
it and the difference between that.
I watch your stories on 2 separate days, and they both sucked. It's like, here's my latest post.
They were
on
both
whatever.
boring days.
Like, what's happening here, Tess?
I know.
Okay, but you picked up the ball. You're dancing. You're having fun. There's effects. It's good. I like it now. I watch it. Not every day, but I watch it. You're in my top. Like, you're in my top 5 for IG stories, probably.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's nice. Probably. Yeah, okay. I'll just choose to believe that I am. Thank you.
It's definitely top 10, but probably top 5.
Okay, cool.
Considering it was super boring, like, you're not giving me a reason to watch anything. But then now it's like,
I know. I've risen from the ashes. So
yeah. I like it. Yeah. It's good. Okay,
awesome.
Tess. Thank you for the love.
I'm trying
I like
out
this.
some merch.
What is that?
Check out my merch.
That's your merch?
Boss Squad.
It's the what squad?
It's a prototype. Boss Squad.
Boss?
Squad.
Boss Squad? Like BOSS?
Yeah.
Huh. All right. I like it. Boss Squad. Boss Squad.
Yeah.
Boss Squad. Boss Squad.
It sounds almost like the way you say it with a Canadian accent. Now it sounds like it's some kind of indigenous word.
Oh, well, how do you say it?
Well, I don't know. I say it the same as you, but with a different accent.
Okay, let's hear it.
Boss Squad.
Bus Squad.
Boss Squad.
It sounds like Bus
sounds
Squad,
like
how you say it, though. Like it's a bus.
Yeah.
Boss Squad.
Okay.
Boss Squad.
I'm going to buy a bus and put a bus.
Boss Squad. I feel like a boss would be part of a Boss Squad. Boss Squad. But it's a diamond. You have a diamond. That's the logo?
Kind of, yeah. It's just a little cheap prototype. So I'm going to play around with it.
I like it. I like it's going to go somewhere. Be patient with it. Listen to the muses. Listen to the muses.
It just arrived this morning. I put it on. Henry took one look at it and it went, merch.
It needs to be
Henry's excited.
fuzzy one-piece velvet Boss Squad. That's what I'm
still waiting for my velvet jumpsuit.
Purple. That's a boss. That's what a Boss Squad would wear. I would wear that.
Yeah, go on then.
I want a full one-piece velvet purple Boss Squad.
Boss Squad.
Yeah,
suit.
onesie. Yeah. Onesie, not a suit. A onesie. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Play suit. Jumpsuit. Okay. All right. I think you're all set. I think you're all set for the tour. You'll be amazing. It will be amazing.
I'm gonna go through all of these muses. I'm gonna do a muse a day for 12 days. It's my 12 days of Christmas. Yeah.
Hey, you know that the 12 days of Christmas.
Oh, it's 9. It's 9 muses. Why am I saying 12? You told me 12.
Yeah, I know.
It's a big lie. 9
muses.
Yeah,
no, because I made it up. I'm always making things up. Haven't you learned that yet? I
didn't know that there were actually multiple muses. I just thought of what you said before.
My
muse, my creative spark.
Yeah.
This is the source.
Several of them.
The muses were Greek goddesses who ruled over arts and sciences and offered inspiration
Yep.
in those subjects.
Yep.
I don't
I think
like
I
that
think they're
last
daughters
part,
of
but-
Zeus. I think they're daughters of Zeus.
Daughters of
something
Zeus.
like that.
Yeah. Zeus and Mnemosyne. Mnemosyne. Wow. Who represented memory. Memory was important for the muses because in ancient times there were no books. So poets had to carry their work in their memories. That's why there's so much about
Yes.
poetry. All right. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
So this
All
might
right,
be good
homework.
for your memory.
I have great
Uh-oh.
memory. I have great memory for things that matter
You do not.
and zero memory for things that don't. And I think most people are the opposite.
Yeah.
Most people have terrific memory for all the things that don't matter. All the people that screwed them over, all the little minor things that, you know, that happen in them that don't matter. And they forget the important things. Like January 6th is Teth's birthday. You got to remember that stuff. But what did I do yesterday?
Everyone's
I don't
gonna
know.
remember.
What did I do yesterday? All right. Thank you,
See?
Tess.
Important stuff.
If you want to know why your comfort zone is destroying your life, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.